So first of all, could you tell me your names and who you work for and why we're here?
So I'm Jo. I am the Sales and Marketing Director at Bray Leino Events.
And I'm Cressida. I'm Group Event Director.
Amazing. And Bray Leino are shortlisted for 4 awards plus the Grand Prix at the Agency Awards next month. So we've got Global Agency of the Year, Employer of the Year, Event of the Year, Public and Charity, and Sustainability Pioneer. So to start off with, we'll talk about Global Agency of the Year. It's been a very global year for you guys. You've delivered more than 200 projects across multiple continents. What has enabled you to scale internationally whilst also maintaining excellence?
So it really has been a year, and I do feel like we say this every year. We live in a wonderfully mad world that we enjoy immensely. But I think Crez can confirm that probably more out of the country than you were in.
Absolutely. I felt like I didn't even bother unpacking my suitcase at times. It was that busy. So yeah, it's definitely been a global year.
But in terms of scalability, I think the foundations are really key to scaling successfully. So for us, that's all about having the right processes in place, the right people in place, and really that supply chain internationally. When you are delivering, as we do, in 30 plus countries, 200 odd experiences, you really need that international supply chain, and that's something that we have, and it works very well for us. I think if you've got those sort of 3 elements, those foundations in place, then really, irrespective of time zone, irrespective of the project that's being delivered, it'll be successful, and that leads to scalability and growth ultimately.
And you have also expanded into new markets, including Saudi Arabia, and strengthening your presence in the US. How do you manage to grow geographically without losing the identity and culture that define Bray Leino as an agency?
Yeah, it's a really tough one, actually. And, I think we've, over the past few years, all of us have explored how we can really make sure that culture stays with us as individuals and ultimately sort of permeates the company, especially when so many people are working more remotely. And so then taking that further and expanding that into new regions is challenging still. I think ultimately we have our values that we adhere to, that we're committed to as a business, but they're born out of the business and what the business is and who we are as individuals and as a collective. So really taking those forward into new markets is really important. I think so. We Care is one of those, and we have our We Care initiatives that sit under it. Crez can probably speak to this better than I can.
Yeah, one of those initiatives around We Care is very much around sustainability. And so for us, doesn't matter where we are, we've got a strategy, we've got a process, we've got a way of doing things, a way of delivering events that means that sustainability will feature wherever we are in the world. So if you take that as an example of one of our key values, you can apply that to anything that the agency stands for, and how we then address that on a global level and make sure that we're maintaining it. It runs through us.
And what would it mean to win the Global Agency of the Year?
I mean, who doesn't love an award, especially the big one? I think after a year like it's been, after a really sort of a big year, and at times tough year, it's nice to be able to get that recognition, especially for the team.
Yeah, it's great for the team to be able to stand up and go, yeah, I had a great year and we did that.
Amazing. You are also shortlisted for Event of the Year, Public and Charity for your work at Expo 2025 in Osaka. You delivered the UK Pavilion, which meant operating continuously for 6 months on a world stage. What was that like, and what were the challenges of doing that?
I mean, I think
many.
Yeah.
Challenges were many.
Wait, where'd you start?
we had a team out there for 7.5 months. That in itself is a challenge. And I think, quoting one of our event directors, Expo years are like dog years. So, a great quote there. but at the same time, a really great experience. And we delivered 60 plus events across the whole duration of Expo. And I think it was 1.8 million visitors.
Yep.
So quite an experience. And we weren't just running the events, we were managing the retail space, managing the restaurant, managing all the staffing. So it was really about having some really good partners and a good supply chain, but also empowering the team to really get out there and just create some wonderful stuff.
And after a challenging event like that, what would it mean to win an award for your work for that?
It's again for the team, and I think we really can't heap enough praise on the team that went and lived out there. For them, I think it would be really special. 2 of our core team at the moment are on a much needed sabbatical. They've got 6 months off, and my goodness, do they deserve it? To be able to send them that WhatsApp and go, guys, you did a thing.
That's so
would be
nice.
lovely.
So Sustainability Pioneer is also one that you are shortlisted for. What makes you guys sustainability pioneers? And you have been trying to move sustainability from intention into infrastructure. What did that transformation require?
I think this is a really key thing, that bit you said about intention. So everyone's going to have good intentions. Everyone knows that we have to deliver events more sustainably. So for us, it was turning those little intentions into part of our strategy. So it was about thinking about the whole end-to-end piece of event delivery. So thinking about sustainability right from the brief through to the whole design process, into build, into delivery, and then through into the de-rig and evaluation process. So it's not just about getting those quick wins. Yes, lots of quick wins often amount up to something quite big, but actually, if you're going to have real impact, you've got to really drive it through every element of that event delivery process. So if you're designing out waste right at the beginning, you aren't even giving your client an option to debate it, really. You're taking some hard no's, and we do set those hard no's. So if, for example, we say we don't use Foamex, we don't print on Foamex anymore because it is way too hard and to recycle. It really is an energy consuming process to recycle Foamex. It really makes it completely unsustainable. So we have looked at alternative materials. We look at how we can show clients that by providing them with figures, providing them with the data around carbon emissions, we can help them make better choices. So we've helped a client to drive down a huge amount of their emissions by taking red meat off the menu, doing a whole gala dinner that was plant-based. And as a result, now that we're working with that client to make sure that the event is 5% year on year, reducing the carbon emissions. So really pulling it into every element of the event, measuring it, gets it done.
And there is a call for agencies to be more radical and make sustainable choices the default rather than waiting for the clients, which is sort of what you've just been talking about. How are you leading that conversation as an agency without compromising on any commercial opportunities?
Don't wait for the client. They might not know what they need to change to make that difference. We are the ones that are working with innovative suppliers. We're having those conversations every day. We're seeing what's new on the market and can really support that kind of change in the industry. So it's up to us to tell the clients how we're going to do it, and for us to stand strong on those decisions where we are kind of removing waste from the event build. We're going modular. We're not build and burn. It is a complete change in how the industry is manifesting itself, and it's really positive. Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect, and actually sometimes you are driven by really budget conscious decisions or a client's desire to do something that doesn't suit with what you want to do. But it is about having those conversations, educating people, and really leaning on your supply chain and challenging them to come up with something much different and much more innovative.
And because you are shortlisted for those 4 awards, it also means you're in the running for the Grand Prix Award, which really reflects excellence across global delivery, across like everything that you guys do. What would that recognition represent for Bray Leino?
I mean, I think we've touched on this, but after a bit of a hectic year, having the moment to sort of pause and celebrate and really acknowledge the team and their hard work is it's a lovely moment. So bring on the party.
And when you step back and look at Bray Leino as an agency, where do you believe you truly differentiate yourselves at a Grand Prix level?
I mean, there's many reasons. One of the key areas that I'm especially proud of is the work that Cressida's been talking about today, the work that we are doing and have done on sustainability. You know, as the person who sees the new business pitches and tenders go out the door, knowing that what we're putting in from the very start has been considered from a sustainability perspective, and that we're pushing that agenda, and that we really mean it, and that we have a commitment to sustainability beyond the sales pitch is incredible. And Cress has made me rethink things in my personal decision making. So I think when we talk about culture, having someone in the business so passionate, driving that, backing everything up with data, taking us on the journey is so important, and it's a big part of who we are and what we do.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Nice pat on the back there. But I also think it is just generally about that excellence across everything we do. And we've talked about delivering on a global level. The fact that we are proud of what we do, not just at one event in the UK, but when we pick it up and we go elsewhere. You know, we worked in over 30 countries last year, and we were still able to maintain that excellence through everything we do. So I think that really, you know, is a great big pat on the back for us. And if the Grand Prix recognises that, then, you know, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, and good luck at the awards.
Thank you.